Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose, and I'm back in the actual soul space at Strong Island Studios. Don't you guys just love our new look? I even dressed extra cool today because we have such a cool studio here. My producer, Bobby, has gone above and beyond. I cannot even believe how awesome everything looks. I feel like I'm on the Tonight Show, only it's better because we're in the soul space. Soul space. So, welcome everybody. As you know the drill, I'm just going to share the show. Sometimes that means that you guys have a few minutes of quiet while I do that. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're going to do that now. And what I am going to ask all of you to do is also share the show if you would like. And I have to tell you, we're actually doing a contest. Bobby doesn't even know about this yet, but I'm going to spring it on him. For anybody who shares the show tonight, you get entered to win a drawing for a free reading with me, Georgia Rose. And that can be an astrology reading or a psychic reading, tarot reading if you'd like, whatever you prefer. And so we're going to run that contest for 30 days from today. So today is actually February 20th. We're going to run that contest till March 20th. And anybody who shares the show gets entered to win a drawing for a free reading with me. So share, 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 and keep sharing. And let's get everyone we know to come on into the soul space. So, gonna actually talk a little bit about the astrology tonight, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about some things that we were talking about last week with Pluto going into a new sign. So, we'll see how that affects everybody. So, I'm still sharing the show. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. So, I'm going to post that. So how's everybody doing? Let me see who's in the soul space right now. Oh, have a whole new studio, and the only thing I forgot to ask Bobby about was how the phones are going to work. But if you want to call in, I'm sure you can, and I will get that right away, all fixed up, so that you can do that if you'd like. So, as I said, share the show. That particular contest is going to run for 30 days, so until next month. And welcome, everybody. I'm actually coming out of here so that I can share the show with somebody else. So did anybody wake up today and find that the energy is really changed? Because last night we went to sleep with a new moon in Pisces, which is very watery and emotional. And we probably had the case of the feels, and we felt pretty good. It was very sweet energy. And then today we had Venus go into Aries, which kind of changed us from a nice watery flow to fire in the hole. Venus in Aries is passionate and fiery and all kinds of things. So, all right, my show is shared. So you probably felt the energy change a little bit, I would think. Maybe not if you're not that sensitive to it, but I think probably most of us did. So we should all be piling into the soul space now. And thank you guys for bearing with me while I share the show. I need a helper to share the show for me every time, right? Okay, so this week's astrology, first of all. Everything started to switch. We had an energy shift, big time energy shift. When you woke up this morning, you probably felt a lot different than you did when you went to bed last night. So we went from water to fire, Aries, and right now there are quite a few planets in Aries. So you're going to find by the end of this week things are a little bit more tumultuous than they've been. We will have a slowing down of that flow towards the end of the week for a little bit while, and then it comes back in again. But let me go over my notes so that I can tell you guys what to expect this week in your own soul spaces. So first thing we've got this week coming in today, today was a holiday, and it was a great day to actually go out and ground in nature. I went. There is a arboretum on Long Island on the North Shore called Co Hall. It's Planting Fields Arboretum. And I went there today, and they have all their greenhouses in full bloom. They had these beautiful carnelian flowers in pinks and reds and whites. And it was just such a beautiful day. It was warm out, which is very unseasonal for New York, where I live here. And I really bonded with the flowers, took some time to just kind of breathe deeply and really center myself in this energy. And I would suggest for all of you, get out in nature because that's really going to help you guys find your way and make things easier to flow, especially when we've got some things turning into fire, right? So in Pisces, anything is possible. And with the new moon in Pisces and the moon transiting Pisces over the next few days, you're going to feel like you want to dream your dreams. You want to manifest your dreams into reality. And we have a really good shot of doing that, especially that Jupiter is still in Aries. When I was coming to work at the Soul Space studio tonight, I saw in the western sky these two beautiful bright stars. And if you go outside after the broadcast tonight, you can see them too. And that is Venus and Jupiter in the western sky where we live. Beautiful. One is almost on top of the other. The one that is southernmost is Venus. And it's just such a beautiful reminder that the cosmos are always looking down on us and that there is a plan much wiser than we are. So get out there tonight after the show and see if you can see those two beautiful stars in the sky. Stay grounded. Don't go out of bounds because that's what this energy is going to make you feel like. We've got so much energy right now that is that dreamy, Pisces, Neptunian kind of, floaty, things, rose-colored glasses. We think very positively about everything in this energy, sometimes too much. So don't overshoot your dream. Don't imagine too much. You want to stay grounded, and nature's a great way to do that. Tuesday, tomorrow, the moon conjuncts Neptune. And that's when things get really floaty. Neptune and the moon in Pisces are very much our imagination. We want to connect, but we don't want to connect with the person sitting next to us. We want to connect on the astral plane and in the cosmos. So again, tomorrow is a really important day to make sure that you ground. We're all going to have a lot of big ideas moving very fast tomorrow. So write them down because some of those ideas are going to be really great, really super creative and super imaginative. But in that fast-moving Aries kind of energy with Venus and Jupiter there, Chiron's there, it's going to make you forget what your idea was. So definitely write down all those brilliant ideas you're going to have. We've also got a Mercury squaring Uranus Tuesday. That's going to make us come into a situation where our perceptions are going to change. And it'll probably happen very quickly. Mercury is the mind. Uranus is a planet that makes things happen sudden and unexpectedly. So don't be surprised if, again, you go to bed tonight and you wake up tomorrow or by the end of the day tomorrow, your perceptions have shifted again. It's a floaty energy, but it's really big, fast-moving energy tomorrow. Wednesday, the moon goes into Aries. And at that point, we've got 5 planets in Aries. Aries is the doer, the fire, the boss. Aries is a badass energy. And we are going to have, as of Wednesday, we're going to have Aries, Venus, the moon, Jupiter, and Chiron, which is the asteroid of healing and our wounds, all in Aries. And we've got Mercury on its way to going in there too. So that's why I say this week is going to pick up speed and be a little bit volatile. There's a lot of fuel. It's a lot of logs on the fire. So if you're trying to do a project, you're trying to dream something into manifestation, there's a beautiful energy to do that with as long as you keep your ideas grounded and in reality, because that Neptune in Pisces is going to make us kind of watery and kind of floaty. So definitely ground. Like I say, nature's a great way to do that. What may have made sense on Tuesday, on Wednesday gets even more clear because we don't have all that, sudden Aryan energy. Now we're getting used to the fire, so things will be a little more clear and we can work with it better. The moon joins up with Venus on Wednesday in Aries, and that's a really sweet energy. It's an energy that is just going to make the creativity come off the charts. So if you have something to write or draw or paint, want to do that on Wednesday, or any kind of creativity, no matter what you have a project going with. Mercury and Mars come together in a trine that day. Now, Mercury is in Aquarius and on its way, getting in there to move into another sign. But Mars is in Gemini. So what that means for us on Wednesday and into Thursday is we've got air and we've got more air. So when we've got both of those big planets in a lot of air, it's really mental. So this week you're going to see your mind working overtime, your mind going a mile a minute. And it's going to be really beautiful creativity, but you got to keep, again, ground, ground, ground. That Mercury trine with Mars on Wednesday is really going to make you guys want to talk. You're going to want to be blabby, 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 talky, talky, talky. It's a good day to actually have the conversations that maybe you've been putting off. So, and it's also a good time to have those conversations and closures because we're headed into a lot of new energy come March. March 7th, Saturn changes signs. March 23rd, I believe it is, We've got Pluto changing signs, two major players. So leading up to that, you want to start to reconcile whatever you can. I've been saying this for months, and now we're in the final countdown. So clean house, figuratively and literally, and get your ducks all in a row. So this is really expansive energy once we have all those planets into Aries, because Chiron, the planet of the wounded healer, is there. These are the wounds we bring into this lifetime, the things that bother us, the traumas that bother us our whole lives, and yet we sometimes can't always heal them. This is an energy that you're going to be able to heal those things in. So that's why I say it's so important to ground, because that energy expands into healing if you allow it, but you have to allow it. And then going into Thursday and Friday, we have a what we call a square. It's a 90-degree angle between Moon and Pluto, and that's a rough one. That's going to be restless going into the end of Thursday, Friday. It's volatile. It may be hard to sleep Thursday and Friday evening. It's a tough energy. So you want to really do everything that you have to get done today, Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit into Thursday. And then Friday, it's going to be a little bit of an annoying day. By Friday, the energy really slows down. We've been going all week, and the moon goes into Taurus, where it is eventually going to meet up with that Uranus energy, but it's squaring Pluto. So this is where our mistakes get pointed out. This is where we want to go back to the drawing board. This is where the things that have been bothering us our whole life come to the surface once again, because the universe wants it to heal. But Friday and Saturday is a good day to just breathe and settle in. Do your work, do your Saturn, do your Pluto, get it all done. And then by Saturday, the bull starts to move again. We've got that Taurian energy, the bull starts to move. The moon's really conjuncting Uranus at that point. Two very energies that want to like create something. They want something to happen, and they want it to be emotional. So, the energy is going to change in the afternoon on Saturday. And that moon square Mercury comes in. It's agitation. It's not long term, but Friday into Saturday, we're going to be cranky little critters. So just keep that in mind. But this can also be a good expression. The bull is a very strong, when I say bull, because it's Taurian energy, where the moon's going to be towards Saturday. It's a strong energy. It's a stable energy. But we all know what the bull does when it gets upset, right? Don't want that to happen. And then Sunday is a very interesting day, actually. Sunday, we've got the moon squaring Saturn and trining Pluto. What does that mean in English? It means that the universe is going to show us our karma a little bit. And that's what Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are really all about. The karma comes to the surface. This is an egoic energy. It can be really kind of people's egos coming out, but it can also be a really great time to do the soul work and do the spiritual work, because isn't everything really meant, the intention of everything is always healing. And so that's why we're here in the soul space tonight, in order to bring ourselves to a place where we really can use the guidance and use the energy of the cosmos and the astrology to get us where we have to be. So in short, today, tomorrow, into Wednesday, super nice energy for creativity. Wednesday's the day if you have to have conversations or talk or do a presentation. Wednesday's the best day because it's a talky day. Thursday, the energy starts to change a little bit, get a little bit slower, a little more funky. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, some volatility, a little cranky. So that's your weather report, guys. So let me go to the comments, see who's on here tonight. Got a bunch of people watching. I see we have 7 people who shared the show. I'm going to have to write your names and put them in a basket later. So let me just do this. Yeah, let's open the phone lines. I'm going to do cards as well. Bobby's going to put the number on the screen. I got to get used to my new chair and my new setup. I want to hear comments from you guys. What do you think of the new setup? I think it's really, really cool. So let me know what you think of it, because I think it's really good. And just so you guys know, we do a lot of shows here at Strong Island, and Bobby does have space in his calendar and in his schedule. If anybody's interested in doing a podcast about something, I know that there's all kinds of things. We have a lot of comedians on the channel. We've got a lot of my compatriots who are doing a lot of different shows. We've got a lot of inspirational stuff. We're looking for some new topics, So definitely stop in or call Bobby. You can message him here. Oh, I got a call already. That was fast, Bob. Hi, welcome to the Soul Space. How can I help you tonight? You have a question? Well, while waiting for the call to come through, I'm going to answer Aaron's comment. His moon and Venus are in Aries. So that means the moon's all over your moon, Aaron. Uh, so, no, I think it's actually going to be a good energy for Aaron because Aaron's been doing a lot of work in order to balance his life. And when we do that kind of work, the universe rewards us. A lot of times people are afraid of certain planets because we call them malefics in astrology, meaning that they sometimes bring challenges. But a lot of times when planets' energy is to do that, and we've done our karmic work, they actually come and bring rewards because we've done the work. So, karma works both ways, right? So I wouldn't worry too much about it, Aaron. I would keep doing what you're doing because I think that you have really been a hero and very brave about getting your life in balance. So I hear we have a call. Welcome to the Soul Space. This is Georgia Rose. They're not there again.
Here we are. Hello?
Hi, this is Georgia Rose. How can we help you? I'm in the Soul Space. You have a question for me tonight?
Hi, Georgia. It's Gina.
Oh, hey, Gina. How are you? How do you like our new set?
I love the set.
I know. We had spoken about doing something like this a long time ago, you and me. But we won't go there.
I like it a lot. I'm glad that I tuned in tonight, that I'm actually home.
Yeah, the holiday, right? So you want me to pick some cards
amazing.
for you, or how are you doing?
I'm doing good. So I have a question,
Yes.
and it's a bad connection. So
okay, go ahead. I can hear you just fine.
Everybody around me seems very needy and pulling me in 17 different directions, and I'm having a hard time with it.
Okay. I'm hearing that from a lot of people lately.
And I don't know if it's me or if it's the way things are in the universe right now.
I think it's a little of both. I think that we're in a time right now where there's a lot of transition for people. And, Bobby and I talk a lot in the studio right before the show, and he's been really in flow lately. You can see this beautiful set he built, and business has really been great for him, and he's just on this really successful part. And I have to tell you that I find that it's such a polarity right now. Either people are like that and in flow, like I've been super creative lately and doing a lot of new things, or they're really in struggle. And I believe it's because the world is changing very rapidly in the sense of our structures. I talk a lot about Pluto being in Capricorn since 2008, and it's about to move signs for the first time since then. And a lot of our structures, if you think back since 2008, are gone. Even, politically, religiously, financially, everything's new, right? So people react to that on an energetic level. Like even structures in our own lives have changed. I think COVID did a lot of that and other things, the economy. So what happens is people are reacting to what's going on around them, but they're going to react to it in a very personal space. So we've got people who are adapting to the changes and moving ahead in their life, and then we've got the people who are in fear. And if you think about it, people who are in fear get really needy, right? So I think that's part of it. And then the other thing I'm kind of getting just intuitively and psychically for you is a lot of times the universe will make something amplified in an area where we have to balance or change the story. And so I know that you are a giver. I know you do a lot for a lot of people. And maybe this is the universe's way of showing you your boundaries and how to say no and how to balance things and how to put you in a position where you're just as important or more important in some instances than the other. And the reason I say that is because, to use an analogy, it's like someone who doesn't go to the dentist, right? And they might have a toothache and they keep taking aspirin or using a home remedy. Sooner or later, they're going to end up on an emergency in the dentist chair because they didn't take care of it. It's not going to go away. So the challenges that we come into this world with karmically, like just from our birth, some of them are mapped out and they're like contracts. So if we don't work that to be of the highest octave, of the highest consciousness, the universe is going to keep throwing it at us. And I think that a lot of times in your life, you've really been there for a lot of people. I think that's your history, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And I think, we're all getting a little bit older and a little more serious about things. And I think this is like, the universe saying, well, you need to do certain things for people, but you need to put yourself first too. That's just the vibe I'm getting. And I
Okay.
think the universe is going to keep pushing you and pushing you until you stand up for your boundaries.
Okay. And would you pull a card for me?
Absolutely. So does what I say resonate at all, or?
It does. It does. I'm just not good at setting boundaries. And when I do, I feel like everybody's getting angry that
Right.
I'm not, doing what they want to do when they want to do it, or there for them when they need me to be there, even though I have conflict to my own personal stuff that has to get done.
Right. And I think that we all do that at some point in our life. And I think that for you, this wouldn't bother you so much if it wasn't something you had to change. You're not
Okay.
okay with it. So you got to change something.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And it's funny you bring up the dentist. I'm on my way back for a second emergency tomorrow. So.
See, the universe kicks us in the butt, right? Okay. Yeah. So Gina, I'm seeing, yeah, this is what your lesson is. Definitely. You've got to do your boundaries. And, because the cards I'm pulling, I just pulled two cards. And the first one was, we have an overhead camera. The first one was, laughing because just the studio is so funny sometimes. I love it here. The first one is this card, which is a card of choice. And what it is it's someone who's been given choices. And I'm going to just move them over because now I have a new camera angle here. Yeah. So the first one is given. There we go. That's great, Bob. We're testing the show out today. So the first one, as you
Oh,
can
I like
see,
it.
this gentleman here sitting by the tree is being held at a cup, right? And there's other cups in the picture too. There's a four of cups. The card is. So what this is a card about is you have choices, but you're not seeing them. And this divine hand of God is actually coming down and like handing you this cup, but you can't see it because you're looking down worried about the problem. And the way I would interpret that, Gina, is exactly what you just said, where you have choices and you have boundaries to set, but your worry of the other person's reaction is keeping you from doing it. And this is absolutely portrayed in this card. So the next card over is hard work paying off. So even though this is hard to do and it's hard to set your boundaries, find language that's loving and that is appropriate and feels comfortable for you. Because I believe when you pull it in and you start to do more for yourself and focus on yourself, look at all the abundance that comes in from this card. This is what we call the Eight of Pentacles. 8 is a very auspicious number. And it's showing like the cobbler making shoes, but it's all paying off. The hard work is done and now reaping the reward of that. So a couple of suggestions, one of the things that I stopped doing in my life, because I have a lot of friends and I'm always the person that gets called when, someone's in challenge, not always the person that gets called to the party, right? Because, that's what happens. It's like we all go to church when we need something, but we don't go where everything's great. So one of the things that I stopped doing in my life in a very loving way is I used to always say, I would do anything for you. I'll always be there, which is very noble. But now I say, I will always be there whenever I can. And it's just that small adjustment, but it's a boundary that I never had before.
Right.
And so whatever your situation, you're going to find the words that are right for you. It doesn't mean that you have to, it's not an all or nothing world. It just means that you have to make adjustments so that you are balanced and happy in the way you're doing it. And like people are always going to be needy. You're never going to change the other. You're just never going to do that. You're going to change your reaction to them and your response to them, but you're never going to change the other.
Okay. All right. No, makes sense.
I hope
thank
that
you,
makes you
and I
feel
appreciate
better.
it.
And we're sending you out all the strength and love to do it because I think, I don't want to seem sexist, but I know that's always a touchy subject, but I think it's more so this type of thing with women than it is with men. I think we're the caretakers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that I was also raised by my culture and my parents and my grandparents as a woman who's in an old-fashioned Italian family to be the pleaser.
Right.
You always
that was the
pleasing,
definition of a good woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but it's not gonna be any good if you're pleasing everyone, but you end up sick or you end up depleted. Then you're not going to be able to do anything for anyone anyway.
Right, right. No, I agree with you. All right, let's see how it goes. And I'll be
Yeah.
touching base with you, by the way, in the office this week about
Oh,
something.
cool. Very good. All right, I'll see you then.
All right.
Bye, honey.
Thanks, Georgia. Bye.
So who have I got? I got Denise Marie watching. I have spoke to Erin online before. I'm going to pull a card for Liz Snyder because she's in Florida. Oh, thanks, Colleen. I think it's a beautiful studio too. Everybody loves your studio, Bob. So I know he's back in the booth. Um, Sarah's going to the dentist. Must be a running theme with the dentist, actually. I think it is, actually. I'm trying to think. I was just thinking about that. We got another call. Hi, welcome to the Soul Space.
Hi,
How are you? Who am I talking to?
Greg.
Brad?
Yes, Greg.
Okay, and how are you tonight? What can I do for you? Welcome to the Soul Space.
Hi, Georgia. Yeah, just a couple of things going on in my life. I just wanted to know what you get, what kind of a feeling you get with. I possibly have an upcoming surgery that I'm like, wavering about if I should go through with it or not. I don't know if
Okay.
it would help my life better or, so I'm stuck at
It's
that.
always nerve-wracking to go through that, isn't it?
Yes.
You're the third person today. I actually ran into someone at the Arboretum that is a friend and follower, and they were saying the same thing. They're actually scheduled for surgery tomorrow. So it seems like we're all got these health things. So now I
Yeah.
have to ask you because I am getting energetically, and it may be wrong because it just seems like there's a lot of energy in here tonight, but the surgery that you're having, is it something more towards the abdominal or lower body?
No. Nope.
Okay. Because for some reason, I'm getting like your sacral chakra and stuff. So maybe that's just the fear you have about the surgery. All right. So let's
Maybe.
see. So now your question really is, as far as the surgery goes, you guys just saw me shuffle the cards. I just got the same exact card we pulled before. Um, so the question is really the energy surrounding the surgery, correct?
Correct.
So now, is this elective? Because I'm getting the card of choice again. Like, do you have?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because so I'm seeing that you have choices. I have to tell you that I feel like this is balanced. Like the time for you to do this is in balance. So that if that helps you, but I'm also getting a little bit of an emergency situation here. Like I don't want to frighten you or anything, but maybe almost like you go in for the surgery and there's just like a slight little thing. It could be like a reaction, maybe coming out of anesthesia is tougher for you or something like that. I don't see it being a major thing, but I see like some discomfort for some reason.
Okay.
So what I would do is if it's scheduled already, I don't know if you do astrology or if you look at your chart, I can look at it for you as well.
Okay.
But I feel like maybe timing is going to be switched. Maybe there'll be a slight delay or they'll move it up. But I feel like that if you're given a date right now, I feel like that's not going to be the date.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just take that with you. And sometimes you know how that happens.
Right.
The other question I want to ask you is there anyone in your life or past or present or crossed over or on this earth plane that is the name Stephen, Steve, or Stephanie?
I have a Stephen nephew, but he's here.
Okay. So I'm just seeing that name come through for me. Is that someone that you spend time with, or that when you're in that space, do you have like a good feeling around him, like joyful, or it's someplace where you would go to feel better?
He's a nephew. I don't really see him that often.
Okay. Because for some reason his energy is coming in, and I almost feel like it's a respite for you. Like if you got to know this person, it would be very, very like happy connection. So just take that with you, because for him to come into the reading would be unusual. So it must have some significance. Or if it's not that person, there is someone
Right.
coming in with that name.
Okay, Stephen is living. I have nobody passed.
Yeah, and sometimes when I see it with names, and it's difficult for me, especially on the show with names, because there's a lot of energy in here. So it could be for someone else, but I'm definitely getting that name Stephen or Stephanie for you. It could even be someone that you have not met yet, and that comes into
Okay.
your life with some significance. Like a typical thing that would happen would be maybe you do go in for the surgery and the nurse's name is Stephanie or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just like it might not have happened yet. So I'm definitely getting that energy around you. And the other thing I want to ask you is, does the number 18 mean anything to you?
18.
Could it be a
My mom's
birthday or
first number
anniversary or
was 8,
anything?
so no, not that I could think of.
Okay, so take
No.
that with you because maybe that's going to be a date around the surgery or something.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I want to tell you what I'm getting intuitively as far as the energy that's around you right now. I feel like this surgery is something that you are definitely giving your attention to, but I feel because I'm getting a lot of energy around your lower chakras and sacral, I feel like there's something you're even more worried about than your concern over the surgery, like an ongoing issue in your life that you're not really addressing, but that is
Hmm.
almost like you're carrying a burden that belongs to someone else. Like you're taking on the issues or the problems of somebody else. So I feel very strongly that that is a message for you, so take that with you as well and just think about that a little bit because I'm
Yeah.
definitely getting that in terms of choices and making
It is a.
choices.
I do have a court case going on, and it's coming kind of like to the finalization. And not that they're pressing me to make up my mind what I'm doing, but it's maybe that could be it. That they're not pushing me, but they're like, you have to make up your mind if you're going through with this or not.
Yeah, that's exactly the type of energy that it is because what I'm compelled to say to you, or my guides are compelling me to say to you, is you need to focus on this. And I feel like you keep pushing it away. And you need to focus on this and make your decisions because I think there are some really good rewards there for you. And I think that when the energy is resolved one way or another, you're going to feel so much better. And then that's the better mindset you carry into the surgery.
Okay.
Yeah, so the mindset is really important here, but I'm getting that definitely burden that you're carrying. And it's like you don't want to give it your full attention yet. Maybe it's a little painful,
Right.
or maybe it's just a pain in the neck, but you're not giving it
Yeah.
your full attention. I think if
That
you do, you'll
it
clear
is
some
a,
stuff.
it
Go
is
ahead.
a, it is a pain in my. That's where it is actually.
Okay, well, there you go. So, yeah, because I'm a firm believer that we manifest in the physical body whatever's going on in our life. So
Okay.
so pay attention to that court thing because I think that's going to clear a lot of energy in your life. And also astrologically, where we're coming in now into a lot of new energy come March. March 7th, we've got a major sign changing, and then also towards the end of the month when Pluto changes signs. So you want to take advantage of that energy, and anything that's residual or lingering with past things right now, try and clear it as best you can.
And that's what I'm trying to do because I do have like a blood disorder going on, and I'm just trying to figure out if I go through this, will anything happen or danger? Like I have clotting, whatever situation, let's say, and that's making me very nervous. So that's kind of like
Well, I'm
I
seeing a
keep on.
lot of new beginnings for you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see your surgery as a walk in the park, but I see that, after a couple of little speed bumps, I think you do really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm being honest, I could be wrong too because like I said, you could leave here and clear other energy and then you have smooth sailing. But for some reason, I'm getting some kind of fogginess, not a lot of clarity, like on a date. So if they gave you a date already, I won't be surprised if that changes, or if they give
Okay.
you a date, it may change.
Gotcha. No date yet. Nope.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that there's something with the timing. Could even be they tell you to get it if it's outpatient that they tell you to come in the morning and then it takes hours to get it done. Who knows? But some kind of delay on it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good.
Thank you so
Yep.
much for
Just
watching and calling in
yeah.
tonight.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So that's a good example of how things in our life, currently that we're going through in our reality are really a direct result of things that are going on in a more subtle way in our energy field. And always, whenever something comes up that's a big decision, you always want to give it your focus. The more we push that decision away, whether it's something about a partnership or career or financial, whatever it is, the universe wants us to be in expansion. And when we're not expanding and we're pushing the opportunities away for that expansion, even if they're challenging or painful, the universe doesn't like that so much, right? Law of attraction. The universe wants us to keep going into momentum and keep feeling forward. So you want to take care of things when they happen, as they happen, and keep yourself in flow, not rushing anything, but really giving things the focus it deserves. And at the same time, not giving things that don't deserve the focus too much focus, right? Not everything that gets put in front of us deserves our attention. So we really have to be discerning about what we decide to really focus on, but make sure that the things you do focus on are the things that are going to move your life forward, the things you have to do. We are such big procrastinators as humans, and inevitably we always end up in that place anyway. So just get it done. Um, so I'm going to pull a card for Liz Gillen Snyder, because she is my friend from Florida, and I just feel like I need to pull a card for her. So we're going to do that next, and then I'll go down as many as I can. Um, yeah, here you go, Liz. Everybody send some hearts out to Liz. She's had some trouble health-wise and things lately. And Colleen says she's seeing a surgeon tomorrow. What is it, people? Everybody's got stuff going on health-wise. All right. So, Liz. Liz, I got the moon card for you as well. You guys saw me shuffle these cards. I just got this card of choices for the third time. So this is definitely a universal energy for all of us right now. Choices, choices, choices. If you look at this card, I'm going to put it right down here. If you look at this card, this is the card of divine choice. You're being handed an opportunity. I was just saying, don't procrastinate. Get yourself in those opportunities and roll your shirt sleeves up and do the work, right, that they bring. This is symbolic of, the universe giving us an opportunity, right? Could be God, could be whatever you feel the higher power is. I use universe because it's universally accepted on the show. And you see we're being handed this beautiful chalice, beautiful opportunity. And we've even got all these other chalices below us that is opportunity. But we're looking down. We're in such worry that we don't see opportunity. When opportunity knocks, you have to get up and answer the damn door. So this is what this is about. So Liz, for you specifically, if you have opportunity coming in now, don't sell yourself short and think that you're not able to do it or you're not capable of something. We all do that. And this is a card that really wants you to step into your opportunity of the things that you can do. And then I have the Moon card, which is the card number 18, which is the card I picked before. This card is very representative of, again, the moon. It is the emotion. It is the dark and light. It is the sun you see and the moon. It is the two biggest luminaries that we have in the universe shining light in order to enlighten us to our opportunities. So there's something coming in that you're not seeing. So keep your eyes wide open and your energy up, because there's something coming in that you're going to want to take advantage of. All right. Dig deep if you have to, but it's there. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Who else am I going to pick a card? I'm going to go back to the top. Who was the first one on the show? It was Liz. Okay. Aaron. Christina. Good evening. Must connect to divine feminine. Yeah, masculine and feminine. A lot of times people think of that in a sexual way or a gender way. And when we speak of masculine and feminine spiritually, what we're really talking about is we all have masculine and feminine traits, no matter what, gender we are. And so to balance masculine and feminine, you want to get in touch with those traits. Maybe your masculine traits are very forceful and strong, and that's where you have that tendency of being, masculine or, more aggressive. And then your divine feminine, even for men, maybe you're a really macho type of guy and a really strong guy, but you also have a feminine side where you love to garden, you love flowers, or, something that's traditionally more of a feminine, softer energy. We use those examples because those are examples that are gender kind of biased in our world. But I use those energies to depict the idea of softness and more hardness. Feminine energy is round. Masculine energy is more angular, right? More edgy. So we all have both of those in us, and we have to struggle to balance that. So I'm going to pull a card for you, Pauline. And I've got the Empress sitting on the throne, which is the Venus card. And again, we've got the sun. Well, no, this is a different card. Before we pick the moon, this is the sun, which is really interesting because we've got Venus, which just went into Aries today. And what a beautiful card this is. The Empress sitting on their throne, all roses all over their beautiful gown. So for you, Pauline, this means fertility. And not always in, oh, I'm going to have a baby type way, but fertility as far as bring abundance into your life, bring abundance into your mindset and your physical world. Because the other card that we got is the Sun card. And the Sun card is health. It's good health and abundance. You see all these beautiful sunflowers growing. And this is a card that is very much, you see the red and the yellow in the card. This is a golden opportunity of abundance. So watch for those beautiful things that come in, because you are definitely the Empress on the throne. These two cards together also can symbolize love and a new romantic relationship coming in. So just know that. And one of the cards that flew out of the deck was the marriage card, which doesn't have to be a legitimized marriage, but can be a card of partnership. So I would say, Pauline, that something's happening for you in your love life. Love life. Yeah, isn't this set great, Carrie Ann? I love it. I feel so hip. I don't feel like such a dinosaur sitting here. I'm cool. I'm cool. I went into work the other day and I had on this beautiful beige camel colored coat and an Argyle sweater with the preppy look, that's in now again, and a pair of faded jeans. And my admin said, "Wow, you look cool. You look really cool." And it just made my day. Somebody else told me I looked like a teenager the other day. I was like, that was a bit much, but they said it. So it's been a good week. It's been a really good week. So these cards look like everybody's having a good week. It's going to get a little dicey the next couple of days, but towards the end of the week, next couple of days are going to be nice. I'm going to pull a card from Monica. We still have time. And if anybody else wants to call into the show, I think Bob's got the number on the screen. It's on the scroll, which is awesome. I love that too. We've got so much new media in here. I feel like I'm at PC Richards. It's like there's monitors and TVs everywhere I look. I swear to God, I feel like Arsenio Hall, or who's the guy who does the Tonight Show now? I don't even know. I haven't stayed up that late unless I was in a club in a long time. I'm not home if it's that late, so I'm not watching TV. So, okay, so Monica, we picked the devil card for you, and that is actually not the legitimate devil. That is actually a card of self-imprisonment. It's also the Capricorn card, and we've got Pluto coming out of Capricorn now. So this card could be very much symbolic of you putting yourself in some kind of self-imprisonment. If you look at this card, I'm going to pick it up here and put it on camera. If you look at this card, it actually shows someone in chains, right? But this card for me, a lot of times, is addiction. It is procrastination. And when I get the energy of addiction, it could be even alcoholism. If there's something from your past or trauma in the past to do with any of those things, not only possibly for you in your life, but people around you, more so around you. When that happens, the energy of it sometimes puts us in a place where we're in self-inflicted restriction, thus the chains in this card. So the reason why the devil card usually comes in a reading is to bring to light the fact that we are never really restricted. We are only restricted as much as our mind wants us to be restricted, right? I always tell the story of Nelson Mandela was in prison for how many years, but he never felt like he was in prison a single day because he always was free in his mind. And that's really what the devil card is about. It's about not allowing things that are lower energy to come in and imprison us. And the only way anyone can imprison us is if they control our mind. So if there's someone who's been having an influence on you, or you've been thinking about overly much, overthinking a situation, free yourself from that and put yourself in balance. Because the other card that we just pulled is this beautiful Queen of Cups card. And again, the Queen of Cups is sitting on a throne, and they are fully in charge of their mind, fully in control of everything. They're the queen. And Cups is an emotion. It is an emotional card. So when you see Cups in the tarot, it usually means that you need to get control over an emotional situation. So the fact that we have this card coming in showing me that there is some self-imprisonment going on, some place where you're allowing something to really kind of be possessive of you or control you, a situation even. The Queen of Cups is coming in to tell you, get hold of it, babe, because all the power lies with you. You are your own leader of yourself. And that's actually a beautiful combination, because don't we all need to be reminded of that sometimes? We all do that. We let, whether it's like Gina calling in, she was talking about people being too needy. even that is something where we allow ourselves to be chained up, right? We allow ourselves to tie our hands because we've got this energy now where we feel obligation or we feel that we have to be there. And we are in control of that. We're in control of everything. I had trouble this week in my yoga teacher training. You guys know I'm studying yoga and to be a teacher. And I had an issue this week in meditation. I couldn't relax, which is very unusual for me with meditation, just a lot of chatter in my mind. And an energy came to light for me personally where I think I didn't want to go into a meditation because I felt like I would possibly lose some kind of control, which is very, very unusual for me because I go into very deep, deep meditation. And I had to work through that. And it was very similar with the cards we just picked, where I had to get back to that place where I am sovereign over myself. I'm not going to go any place I don't want to go, whether it's in my mind or in the physical world. I am the leader of me, right? And that's really what those cards mean in tarot is don't self-imprison. And whenever you get a queen or a king in tarot, it's going to be really reinstating your own sovereignty over your own life. And I think that's also a really appropriate lesson for us now, because as the planets are changing into new cycles, some of which are going into a cycle that'll last for us for the next 20 years, for many of us, this is a time of crucial, crucial decisions. It's critical timing in our life. These next couple of weeks are really important. So we want to spend our energy and give our energy to the things that matter. And the foundation of that is having control of ourselves and being in balance. So really important stuff. I'm going to pick one more card for somebody tonight, and that is going to be, okay, she's relating to it, Monica says. Very good. Thank you, Carrie Ann. I broke out the leather tonight because I was like, the studio looks pretty cool. I think I got to look cool. There's Christine Camerata. Christine, I am going to pick a card for you. Okay, and we're going to do this card to close the show. After me, we've got Tea Time. Tea Time also has a brand new set, which I love. Teresa looks so pretty on her set. She's coming in now. We got to have her on the show one night. A lot of queens coming out in the cards tonight. So this is for you, Christine. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles means you have a lot of abundance coming into your life. Queen of Pentacles means that you've got to step up to the throne and don't doubt yourself because that abundance is really coming in. Next card I got for you was the World card. Oh my God, these are fabulous cards for you. The World card means that all 4 points of your life, spiritual, mental, physical, and the abundance of the material world are all coming into sync. So if you've recently been doing some work or have a project that you've been working on that's self-study or self-growth, keep it up because these are 2 great cards for you tonight. You've got some really great rewards coming in. So keep going in the direction that you are going, baby. Oh, okay. So I want to remind everybody, you can even share the show now and it will replay. We replay the show on Zenkuda on YouTube. The show's also banked on Strong Island on YouTube. And I leave the show up on my Facebook page for quite a while. So you can always watch me back. And now also I am on public access television, channel 115 Optimum Cable, on Fridays at noon. So if you get a lunchtime and you want to play the Soul Space in your lunchroom or your office or your break, you can spend lunch with Georgia Rose. And I also want to tell all of you, for everyone who shared the show tonight, you get entered in a free drawing for a reading with me. And if you want to have that reading on the show, we'll have you on the show. It's up to you. I know my audience is pretty far and wide. So if you're out of state or in another country, I know some people watch from Canada and Australia, then you don't have to be on the show. We'll just do one privately for you. But it's your choice. We can do it privately or on the show. And if you're out of state, you can still share the show because I do Zoom readings privately. So that'll be great for you. So thank you all so much for tuning in. You know where to find me. Zenkuda on YouTube, where I don't just have the show. I've got a lot of other videos too. I do a lot of astrology videos and I do a lot of videos just about, kind of kicking it in life and expanding things and being more spiritual. That's what the Zenkuda community is all about. It's about all of us getting by with a little help from each other, supporting ourselves on the soul journey to expand our lives in more love and wisdom. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can find me on Instagram at Zenkuda Official and Facebook, Zenkuda Soul Space. I am Georgia Rose, Zenkuda.com to book a reading. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, everybody.